When you're in a critical zone where somebody near you, a child, a spouse, somebody is potentially using, drinking, or not potentially, you actually know what's going on. One of the first steps is to understand just how powerless you probably are in that situation. If they're already to the point of drinking and using, chances are they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. And I'm going to just start, you don't know what to do, and you don't know how to do it. And the most powerful question that I always ask to get people started is, what are you willing to do? And sometimes people, frankly, when you ask that question, it's done. Well, I'm not willing to confront them. I'm not willing to talk with anyone. I'm not willing. And as soon as those I'm not willings are established, then you pretty much establish that, oh, I'm not willing to do anything here. I'm not willing to rock the boat. Then I come back and say, then you're going to have to just step back and see how it plays out. And the only thing that you can really do is look yourself in the mirror and say, what do I need to do to stay healthy here? Am I willing to do what I need to do in order for me to stay in a healthy place so that I can at least be a good influence? That's the starting point. From there, if I figure out some things that I'm willing to do, then we have a lot of other steps that can be taken. And the first step that I think that needs to happen in most of these cases is some kind of a truth confrontation. And here's what that needs to look like. A lot of times people do what I call kitchen sinking. If someone's using, they step back and they wait and they gather all of this information, and then they just dump it all like a bunch of dirty dishes that have accumulated in the sink. They dump all of that stuff on the other person. And the other person at that point is going to feel attacked. They're going to struggle. They're going to respond negatively. It's not going to go well. So what you do at that point is not the kitchen sinking. What you do is you start with one thing. Last night, here's what I saw. When I saw that, it appears to me that you've been drinking, or I smelled the alcohol, or I saw the bottle, or I saw whatever, a paraphernalia. I saw you responding in this kind of a way. What I find is if you start with basic pieces of information that are very clear, that are very concrete, that I start with this one piece of information, and then I use language like, this makes it appear that. This gives the other person a little bit of room. It gives them the ability to have some dignity and step forward and actually voluntarily confess what's going on. Anytime you can get the other person to take that kind of a step and cooperate with the process, you're several steps down the road. Many times when you bring that, they're not going to respond that way. You get the denial, you get the hiding, you get the escalation of anger. If those behaviors are what you're getting, it's not going to help to kitchen sink. It's not going to help to really pile on. And so I encourage you, don't go there. Sometimes, once in a while, if you'll bring up a second incident or a third incident, and you're not piling on, but you're being careful, you're being measured, sometimes that's enough to bring the pressure. They begin to open up. They start the cooperation process. If they start the cooperation process, it's very important not to put them in a one-down position, not to put them in a belittled, you're nothing, you're a loser position, but to let them know that, hey, I'm willing to come alongside. I'm willing to help you. What can we do? How can I help you take the first step? And the first step really comes back to the same question. What are you willing to do? Can I get you to a treatment facility? Do we need to get you to a hospital? Do we talk to somebody? Is there somebody that a professional or even a friend that we can sit down and talk with this person in order to try to formulate a plan? The biggest thing that I tell people is slow it down. When you have a crisis like drugs, like alcohol, It's already escalated. If I can de-escalate it, if I can slow it down, if I can take one step at a time, I can come alongside the person and give them some confidence to take it one step at a time. You're really doing the very best things that you can do. Then the next piece is for you, preferably with their permission, but it doesn't have to be with their permission, is get counsel. Find somebody that you can talk to that's able to bring positive input, that's able to bring some understanding, because there will be specific steps that you need to take. Again, that comes back to, are you willing? If you're not willing to take those steps, it's a waste. So why even bother? But hopefully at some point you're willing to talk to somebody to get advice. You're willing to press the person to take the appropriate steps to talk to somebody, maybe to go into treatment, maybe to do whatever. But it all hinges around, let's take this step, let's de-escalate the situation, let's get it to a point to where we can be reasonable with one another. Let's invite in partners, let's invite in people that are going to help the situation. If you're taking these kinds of steps, you're really headed in the right direction. Don't try to do it by yourself. De-escalate. Take it one step at a time. These are some of the best tools that you can use if you suspect somebody in your sphere is using. So rough step, but if you'll take the right steps one step at a time, you can make an incredible difference in a person's life. If this is you and you feel like you need more assistance, feel free to check out our website, email us questions, or contact us directly through the description below, and we'd love to reach out to you, be a resource to you, potentially be involved in some way. We want you to understand that you don't have to be alone. There are places that will reach out and support you.
Video production, editing, and audio by Matthew. Set design and setup by Ashley. Content recorded live at Studio 1.